Alright guys, just got a cool tour of Joe and his awesome off-grid little tiny home there, and now I am off. It is 3 o'clock. We had to do a double take. Don't tell anyone I'm driving without my seatbelt. Had to do a double take of that and wait for semi-trucks to stop, but there's a huge rainstorm that's supposed to be coming in, so I'm heading to Dallas. I was gonna go to frickin' San Antonio today, but that rainstorm's coming in and it's really focusing on the south, and they're talking about South Texas might have tornadoes, and I don't like tornadoes, so I'm going north. I'm going to Dallas, and then I'll figure out where to go from there. I might even go up into Oklahoma or something. Gonna find out. I forgot this is one way. Check out the street art here, man. New Orleans has the best street art ever. There's one. So this area was all underwater during the flood. Here's a couple shotgun houses and some singles. It's kind of the ghetto-y area. Right behind me is the 9th Ward. That's the part that got the most flooding during the hurricane. And it's still, I went there last year when I was here, and it's still very, very destroyed. Yeah, some of these houses right here are still under repair. That one looks rebuilt. These ones all do right here. These are very typical New Orleans houses. Man, it was weird when I got here. I was like, I feel like I'm at home. Like I came back home. It was like a relieved, like, good feeling. And I really wish I could stay longer, but that storm's coming in, and I'm not gonna be able to go out and explore anyway. It's just gonna be raining like crazy for like 3 or 4 days. That's what the weather thing is saying anyway. But yeah, so it's off to Texas. Man, I'm gonna miss it here though. I love this city. This is my favorite city in the US. Here's my new tattoo, by the way. Check that out. It's pretty cool, huh? Check this out. We got Lake Pontchartrain out here to the right. And up on the left here is just bayou, man. It's just swamp. Actually, I don't know what the technical difference between a bayou and a swamp is. I think they're pretty much the same thing. It's water, trees growing out of it. That's what I know. This whole big stretch is like this. It's really cool. Oh yeah, and that storm that's coming through here in Texas, the whole southeast actually, is not just like a rainstorm. They're talking about like 3 inches of rain per hour and flash flooding and stuff. So flash flooding's no good, and New Orleans is a bad place to be when it floods. I was there when it rained like that one time, and the water was like a foot high, and I'm just like looking outside of my van and watching this water rise. It was terrifying. Because it's below sea level. They have all the pumps and stuff that pump all the water to the levees, but they're only so efficient, so the streets do flood. I pulled over to take a leak and put on my driving pants real quick. Check out this swamp. This is a Louisiana swamp. I love it. Here's some Baton Rouge traffic at 4:30 for you. Look at that sky. Isn't that pretty? It looks beautiful, man. Off to the left, it gets real dark though. There's some rain going on over there, that's for sure. Bridge time, woo! Love bridges. Here's the Mississippi. And out here, I don't know how well you'll be able to see it. You probably can't see it at all on the camera, but there's this like, I can't look over long enough to figure out what it is, because I gotta pay attention to the traffic, but there's like this crazy fire over there. And it's like crazy smoke cloud up in the sky. It's crazy, man. All right, guys, big Van Dweller tip of the day. Always check the weather where you're going. I don't do this enough. I need to start doing it more, but I definitely do when I'm in the South, because I mean, you're running into things like it'll be sunny one second and all of a sudden it'll be this intense, crazy thunderstorm with crazy winds and rain, and lightning is very dangerous. Tornadoes are very dangerous. Hail the size of golf balls is very dangerous. What else? Flash flooding. Man, I went through that dust storm back there. Messed my throat up. What else? Yeah, hail, tornadoes, flash flooding, lightning. If you're in a certain part of the country, it could be a snowstorm coming and you didn't even know it because it seems like it's warm, but where you're going, there's some crazy blizzard or something, you know. Always check the weather. You kind of got to become a sailor, and you got to, I love relying on technology. I'm so glad that I have completely unlimited data and service most places. So I'm always checking the weather. rain now. I checked the radar though. It's not gonna last very long, luckily. And it should be clear skies in Dallas. Woo! Looks like the rain has passed over. I'm outside of Alexandria, Louisiana right now. I got 3 more tips for you for a road trip vehicle. 3 things that are really, really like important to have. One is cruise control. I tried driving for an hour without it today and it sucked. I love having cruise control. Another thing is a banging stereo, man. You gotta have tunes to keep your mind going. You gotta feed your soul with the music, man. You gotta feed your brain with audiobooks. Mine has a CD player on it, which I never use. I'd rather have one without it and just get like a Bluetooth one. And it's got this, it's got a thumb drive slot on it. So I got this little flash drive with like 32 gigs of badass tunes and audiobooks on it to keep the juices flowing and keep my brain and heart and soul fed. So yeah, oh, and a comfortable seat. Gotta have a comfortable seat, man. There's nothing worse than being uncomfortable when you're driving for a long time. Luckily, this Astro has a great seat in it. Even the stock one, it's a little broken in, it's a little bouncy, but it's really comfortable. So a lot of people have been making a really, really good suggestion to me, which is, why don't you look into getting an ambulance for your next vehicle? And I'm about to pass into Texas. Whoa. I think Louisiana Welcome Center. Yeah, so they're saying, why don't you get an ambulance? And I've been thinking about that for a long time, actually. That's a really, really good suggestion. I toured DJ Vendettas. He's got a YouTube channel. Check him out. I toured his ambulance a while back when I was up in Portland, Oregon. And you can see that in my mobile dwelling tour playlist. I've got a ton of vehicles in there I've toured already, and another one coming out as soon as I get to Phoenix. I'm gonna release that one I did today, which I think everybody's gonna love because it's awesome. Joe's a cool guy too. So yeah, excellent suggestion. There are 3 reasons why I'm like 3 big cons for me, and they're not really that big. They're all kind of, I can move around them. One is it's not very stealthy. Stealth isn't that important. It depends on what you're doing. People travel in tiny houses built on the back of Ford Rangers like I saw today, or big class CRVs like Nomadic Fanatic, or conversion vans like a bunch of the van dwellers. People travel in all kinds of vehicles that aren't stealth all the time, and they never have problems, or they rarely have problems. So that's not really that big of a deal. To me, it just means freedom. It means I have more options of places I can sleep. The times when I have been disrupted by police, which has been 3 or 4 times since I've been doing this, what, a year and a half now or something like that, that's all because I was in a non-stealthy vehicle, or yeah, basically I was just in a non-stealthy vehicle. So that's really not that big of a deal. 4 times out of a year and a half, like, I think I could live with that. But I still like the idea of having options, which is one of the main appeals of the box truck for me. Another con is, when I did that tour, I had some paramedics tell me that those ambulances, man, the paramedics, when patients get back there, they're bleeding all over the place and guts everywhere and bodily fluids and stuff. And people have diseases, and some diseases can live for years in the air and on things. Like the blood could get in a little cranny or something, and live there for years. I guess that they have some kind of fog machine thing that goes in the air and kills everything. If I got an ambulance, I would want to get one of those machines and do it myself, just to make sure. And another huge con of an ambulance for me is they look, when you buy them, they have a lot of the equipment removed. A lot of it's still in there. One of the pros of that, by the way, is they have inverters built in, and they're pre-wired for 120 all over the place with ground fault interrupters and everything, like professionally done wiring and everything, and lights, everything else, and an air conditioning unit. I'm gonna sidetrack here a little bit, sorry about that. If you get one that's a diesel, and I'm on the fence about diesels, I haven't done enough research to know if I want one or not yet. You can let that diesel engine idle safely, and you can power the AC unit back there. So if I want to sleep during the day, or it's really hot at night or something, I can use that AC unit anytime I want, basically. Just let the engine idle, as well as the heaters that are built in. They have full temperature control back there, which is really cool. So yeah, the con of having all that stuff built in is that I would want to remove all those cabinets, because I absolutely do not want to live in something that feels like an ambulance or feels like a hospital or is all industrial and sanitary, and That's not homely to me, man, at all. I'd rip all that stuff out of there. And because they had all that equipment in there, there's a lot of it that I want to tear out anyway, just if nothing else, to save weight and space. And there's wires everywhere. He showed me the main wire hub of where all the wires were. It was this giant intersection of wires with just hundreds of wires going to who knows what. So it would take quite a while to go through all that stuff and remove all the wires that you don't want, because they're using electricity, you know. And if one of them, if a positive wire comes loose, you know, it could short out, it could start a fire in there. So it's also dangerous. Not only is it inefficient, it's potentially dangerous. And the way they just go in and rip a lot of the stuff out, I mean, it's possible that they just left an exposed hot wire there, and you press the wrong button or something, you could be in trouble. Another thing is the outside often still looks just like an ambulance. They even say ambulance on it and stuff, and they have all the red lights and everything. And you've got to take the emergency lights off, or at least the covers, and put a clear cover on there. I'd want to paint over all the ambulance designs and anything that says ambulance or emergency, anything on it. One, to be legal, and two, to be a little more stealthy. You know, you could make it look like a work van or something, like somebody converted it into a work van. Another huge pro is the box itself that's on those trucks is built incredibly tough. It's built way stronger than a box van. They're not quite as tall. I think they're about 10-foot boxes. I'm not sure. I think it depends on the actual ambulance. They're not usually not as tall as a box truck, but I think I remember being able to stand up all the way in DJ's Ambo, which was really nice. And it had one area that went down all the way and would make a perfect shower. It would take very little modification to make that just a perfect shower. So it's a very real option for me. Basically, I've got to finish figuring out what my priorities are, what exactly I realistically want to do with it, how I'm willing to change my lifestyle. Another pro is they're fleet maintained. They're always fleet maintained, so they maintain these ambulances really well. So it's pretty much guaranteed that this thing is going to be really well taken care of. And diesel engines run for forever. They're known for being super reliable, especially the Ford 7.3. And they just have tons of power, and they have really heavy-duty transmissions and rear ends and brakes, and everything is very heavy-duty on ambulances, which might also be a con because it might be so heavy-duty that it's hard to find parts for or somebody to work on. And I think that most ambulances are dually as well, which means that you have to buy 2 extra tires, and brakes are going to be more of a hassle, and flats are going to be more of a hassle. Rotating tires is a hassle. Those are just some of the things I'm thinking about. I don't know any of them as actual fact, just my subjective interpretation. My heart's in the box fan a little bit, just because the Ambo is going to be a lot more work, and I'm not sure if I want a diesel, and I'm not sure how to sanitize it right, and I've got to learn how to move ghosts to the other side or whatever, because I've had enough experiences with ghosts, and I know that they often happen in places where people die tragic deaths and stuff, which happens in ambulances all the time, so that thing's probably like a ghost hotspot or whatever. That might sound ridiculous to some people. If you experienced what I've experienced, you'd feel the same way. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the Ambo, guys. Whoa, check this out. These Christmas lights. So I'm pulling into Natchitoches, Louisiana, and I'm gonna get some food and stretch out a little bit. I need to eat, so it is time. All right, so me and the van are all fueled up. I got some Popeyes while I was still in Louisiana. I know they have them everywhere, but I've never had Popeyes before. I was like, well, I'm in Louisiana still. I might as well try some Popeyes. Had a little po' boy. Filled up the van of gas. Ready to hit the road. Woo! Welcome to Texas. Finally made it. Woo! All right, so 2 hours, 20 minutes until Dallas. That's 164 miles. It is 9:20 p.m. obviously, and my ETA is about midnight. That's where it puts me. So I don't know if I want to go that far tonight. Also, last time I stopped when I got the po' boy and filled up with gas, it looked like it's going to be raining in Dallas all night, and there might be a town. It looks like there's a town in about 20 miles. And there's somewhere up here where I stopped last year, and it was a really nice, quiet Walmart. I might just stop there and see if it's gonna rain here tonight. If it's not raining at all here, I'll probably just call it a night here and pass through as much Texas as I can tomorrow. The farther west I get, the more out of that crazy rainstorm I'm gonna get. So no matter what, it's gonna be rain, driving through the rain all day tomorrow. But driving in the rain at night when I'm kind of tired, been driving all day, that doesn't sound like a smart move. I think it's probably best that I just pull over and call it a night. Get some editing done anyway, because I've got yesterday's vlog to edit. So, and I want to, if I have time, get a head start on this one too. That'd be cool. So, yeah, I'm gonna see what's up with that. All right, so the rain has started, lightly, but it is raining, and it is 10 o'clock, and I am I'm getting tired, and like tired of driving, especially. Getting kind of zoned out a little bit. I feel my reflexes are starting to slow, so I am calling it a night. I'm at a Walmart now in some little town out in Texas somewhere, and I'm gonna get to editing and get a good night's sleep, and tomorrow gonna drive as far as I can through Texas. So thanks for watching, guys. Love yourself. Woo!